Hi. For a couple of decades now, there's been a move towards self-awareness, finding your why, as Simon Sinek says. Mindfulness. It's coming into being as never before. Now, what is your purpose? You mightn't know your purpose, but your soul does. All of us know, deep down, in the very deepest part of our essence, we know what we are. And we know why we are here. I'm fully of the belief now that we are immortal beings having an earth experience. We choose to be born. We choose the circumstances of our birth. We choose the environment on which we will come into being. And of course, once we're in this worldly life that we're living, we run into other people, other souls who have incarnated. Perhaps enemies from previous lifetimes and friends. Now, you mightn't believe that. It's certainly a working hypothesis with a lot of people. And with me, I think it's more than a theory. It's a sort of knowing. So, how do I know? Well, let me tell you a story. When I was about 50, up until the age of 50, I was pretty self-centered. Most of the things that spoke about or thought about resolved around me. And then I sat the first of 14 10-day Vipassana retreats. Boot camps, they call them, because they're so tough. 11 hours meditation a day, in total silence, in total isolation. Not being able to speak to anyone else, up at 4 o'clock in the morning, bed at 9 o'clock, 2 vegetarian meals a day, breakfast and lunch, nothing after midday. Okay, this brings your mind to a great quietness. And in this particular camp, Vipassana, we are introduced to the Vipassana meditation technique. But I'm not talking about that here. I'm talking about what happened afterwards. The day after I'd sat a 10-day Vipassana meditation course, I booked myself into what they call a rebirthing course. Now, in a rebirthing course, via technique of breathing, we tend to hyperventilate over a long period of time. We can then be taken by suggestion right back until the time we are born. At least with most people, they're taken back to maybe when they're 2 and 3 years of age. I was taken right back to the moment of my birth. And without going into a great deal of detail, I realized why I was born. Generally speaking, I was born to make people happy. Yes, born to make people happy. That was the general purpose. But what's the particular purpose, the absolute purpose for us all? To find out through our experiences who we are and what we are not. We take on at a very early age an ego, a self-image, a mind-creative image which we believe ourselves to be. And most of us spend our whole lives in that. But there's always a prompting. There's always a dissatisfaction, a prompting to move on from that. And that prompting really is to bring us to ourselves, to find out what we really are. not who we really are. That's a character, that's a personality. What we are in our essence. Once we open ourselves up to that, once we decide, yes, I want to know the truth about what I am, the whole universe conspires to help us. All sorts of serendipitous events occur. We bump into the right people, we read the right sort of books, we're prompted, we find ourselves under the tuition of the right mentors for us at this time in our advancement. So our life purpose, it changes. The particular life purposes, the lesser life purposes, change over time. But the real deep down life purpose of us all is to find out what we are, to bring ourselves to a higher level of vibration, to move evolution along. What's your purpose? Maybe you haven't found out yet, but your soul knows what it is. Listen. Listen in the silence. Listen to the guidance that your higher self, your soul, your immortal part has to say to you, and take notice.